Hello, I'm Brandon Ridenour. I'm from New York City, where I teach at the Juilliard School and the New School. I believe that each student is unique. And if you look around, I mean, that should be everyone's philosophy. Every person is unique. I like to find out what their interests are and build off of those interests. Some students might be very curious about writing. They might be composers. They might be arrangers. And if I know that about them, it helps me guide them and invigorates the education. And then ease of playing, I would say, is the other trumpet-specific thing that I like to focus on, to make sure that a trumpet player is approaching the trumpet with a sense of ease, because this healthy approach to trumpet playing and to really any instrument, voice included, that's the thing that's going to allow them to go the distance and have a healthy career if they go on to have a full-length career playing their instrument. That approach, that effortless way of playing is very important. So I like to focus on efficiency as a player.
안녕하세요. 예원학교 3학년에 재학 중이며 한국예술영재교육원에 다니고 있는 트럼펫 전공 이상욱이라고 합니다. 제가 오늘 선정한 곡은 앙드레 졸리베의 콘체르티노 소엽주곡인데요. 이 곡은 트럼펫을 구사하기 아주 어려운 테크닉들로 구성되어 있는데요. 이 테크닉들을 브랜든 라이드너 선생님께 배워서 더 여유 있고 더 편하게 구사할 수 있도록 해보기 위해 선정하게 되었습니다. 오케스트라에서는 팀파니와 같이 소리를 증폭시킨 역할을 하고 또 솔로 악기로서는 여러 음색으로 관객들에게 감동과 위로를 준 역할을 하기 때문에 이런 양면적인 역할이 트럼펫의 매력이라 생각합니다.
Great job.
무대에서 연주할 때 조금 더 여유 있게 할 수 있도록 더 많은 테크닉들을 배워서 더 무대에서의 완성도와 깔끔함을 높이고 싶습니다.
I didn't want to stop you. You play this great. You're a great trumpet player.
Thank you.
That's it. You don't need lessons anymore. Just go win a job. Do you like the pain? Just kidding.
I like to practice the high note or some fingering.
You like to practice the high notes and the fingerings?
Yes.
Wow, you're quite a technician then. Good. I don't like to practice high notes. And fingerings, yeah, I mean, by now I think I know all the fingerings on the trumpet, just about. I'm still learning a few new ones. You clearly know all the fingerings to this piece very well. So I asked you the question, what do you like about the piece? Because the next step is for it to have significance or meaning to you.
약간 스케일 전도 같은 느낌이랑 완전히 클래식 같진 않은 느낌이.
This has elements of both, but more contemporary music elements along with the jazz. Lots of influences going on here. All reasons why I like this piece too. I don't like practicing this piece though, unlike you. So I want you to describe the beginning to me. What does it sound like? What's the feeling of the beginning?
패닉 속에서 혼자만의 길을 찾은 듯한 느낌.
So it is panicking music with a sense of urgency, right? But you have to play it in a way where you're not panicked as a trumpet player, right? Play it not panicked, but it needs to sound panicked. Okay, can you put more of that type of expression into the beginning and try it once more? Sometimes music becomes easier when you think of bigger, broader ideas instead of every note that you have to play. I want you to keep playing now that there's this tempo, ta-ta-ta-ding, where you left off. Keep that sense of panic. Go for the feeling you're an actor, okay? Try it once more.
Okay.
Good. Keep going. You can stop there. Now, tell me, what is the feeling in this section that you just played?
그 앞전에 패닉 속에서 패닉이 끝나고 이제 마지막 결국 해결책에 거의 다 도달한 장면을 상상하고 있습니다.
All right. It's related but an opposite feeling. I want you to find the solution to the panic here, but I don't want you to lose the momentum that the music has already established. Because I feel like sometimes when you take a breath in this section, you lose musical momentum. Keep it forward and make your breath a part of the music, a part of the flow. You can try it again. D, from there, from number 2. That's in the spot. Lost it. Good, much better. So remember that idea that when you take a breath, it isn't separate from the music. Breath is a part of the music. The first note, so I notice that sometimes when you have to come in on a high note, you're not as secure as all the other parts of your playing. Yeah, can you do that first note? And think of, again, a burst of compressed air. Good. I won't make you do that any more times. You've played that enough. But that's a lot better, yeah? The section, it's a cadenza, and you have to create positive momentum for yourself in this. I want to show you how you used to play it, just so you can see the difference. You used to play... You see what I mean? We don't want that all that time. It needs to be together. When I lift off of a note, then I come back in. There's that moment. You'll notice the good conductors have great flow. And you can always follow, they have a good sense of ictus, and it goes up and it always comes back down, right? You can predict, what they're gonna do, and they're easy to follow. A bad conductor, for instance, would do that, right? And our breath can sometimes, how you used to breathe in this section was doing that. The music would end, and then it'd start again, right? Instead of it feeling natural, circular, flowing, okay? Our approach to how we make a sound on the trumpet is incredibly important. We can approach that sound with a sense of trine and force, and it'll sound that way. Or we can approach the way we make our sound with a sense of ease and letting go. And these are the things that we practice. We'll practice often our breath control, or ease of breath. And there's a huge connection between the ease of our breathing and the ease of our sound on the trumpet. So that's why I believe the sound to be quite important. What I like to do, and something that I use in education, is to conduct and sing. I think it's a great thing for students to do, and professionals, to learn music. Let's go on to the next section. And what does this next section mean to you? What's happening? Describe it. If it's a feeling, a word.
약간 해결책을 찾고 나서 혁신적인 새로운 길을 만들어가는 과정.
Do we think it's a good path, or do we not know yet?
아직 몰라요.
We don't know yet. It doesn't sound super positive or resolved. It's a path, though. There are all these branches and animals, snakes maybe every now and then, trying to cause you harm. So you found a new path, but it's not perfect. It might be a little dangerous. And I want you to play it with all of those elements in mind. If you could take it again from after 3. Good. Maybe you're tiptoeing through that section. Oh! Oh! Little dangerous moments. You're tiptoeing through this uncertain path. To play it there from 4. I'm just saying to maybe exaggerate moments of surprise in this. Because there are certain notes that jump out all of a sudden that's like sort of surprising, and they need to be surprising. That's what makes this music special. So, I mean, this is pretty psychologically advanced for 14 years old. But if you can think about, instead of just projecting, playing loud, think about playing into your sound more. Your sound, your individual sound. So my sound isn't like yours, and that's fine. It would be healthy for me to not think about trying to project or play loud. I want to just play like me. So I'll try. I haven't practiced. I need to, for me, what I like to lean into is my articulation, the security of when I hit the front of a note, which I think is one more thing I would add to you as you think about how you approach the trumpet. The security and the purpose of the front of your note. Being very clear. Because there are a lot of short notes in this that need to be very clear, okay? Don't think about projection or playing loud. Play into that, okay? And your sound. I think you sound really great on this piece. Do you want to finish it? Do you want to play the end? Because this middle section, all I would say is to just think about the articulation more. Ta-tan, 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 ta-tan. Yeah, try it again. Yeah, it's better. It's such a small thing, but I mean, you're ready for it. There aren't too many things for me to say, and clearly I'm not even demonstrating because I don't have the right trumpet. I haven't practiced this piece, but these little things can make a difference as far as bringing the piece to the next level. This articulation thing that we're talking about now, thinking about what does the music mean, the spirit behind different sections. These are important things. Once you think you've mastered something, there's always another level that you can unlock with pretty much any piece of music. And this one is very, very slight. It's just instead of, it's a little more compressed, squish. You hear? Small difference. Da-da, da-da, da-da. You got it? You understand? Okay. Let me hear you just play the end of the piece. So now, the next level to unlock is to make it sound musically connected. Having a love for music. I think that is the first virtue. We just happen to be playing the trumpet. This is the instrument that we chose in this case. I think the first virtue was music, because before I played the piano, as a kid, I would sing along to songs, and I had certain songs that I liked, and I knew the melody and the words too. So having a love for that will continue to inspire you to learn all sorts of new music along the way. Play once to get the idea. Like that. Exactly, that's the music behind the technical version of this, right? So we want to be sure that it's long. Da-da-ga-da-da-ga-da-da-ga. Keep those notes long and sing through it. Not right? Okay? Try it once more flow. Let the tongue just dance on the air, okay? Yeah, that's better. Whenever I have lots of fast notes or tongued notes, I like to practice it by doing the opposite. I'll play it long and lyrical instead. Play from 18. Keep the notes connected. Play it more like a phrase, more like melody, long melody. You know what we're going to do? Same thing that we just did. So you're going to take all those triplets and just play long eighth notes instead. Okay? Something like that. When we put the tongue back in, it should feel the same with the air. What we don't want is that tongue to drop. If this is the air, right? We don't want the tongue to drop down too much and block all the air. We just want it to brush so it can be light and not stop those notes from speaking. As written from 18. All right, nice. You're a great player. Keep doing what you're doing and pushing yourself more. Do you have any questions for me?
Do you have some way to breathe more than now?
Breathe more?
Yes.
To take in bigger breaths?
Some fresh drill?
Yes, there are breathing exercises we can do. We can all do them if we want. So here's one to expand your capacity, bigger. So get rid of all of your air, completely empty, and then breathe in. And keep sipping the air. Sip the air, sip the air, a little bit more, and then out. And then another one in, and then and we'll do that again. You go in through the nose, and then out. And when we're relaxed, it's easier to take in bigger breaths. That's a very important thing to know. And we want to get our bodies involved. So if we breathe in, if we say, maybe you can do this with me. So we'll just use our arms. So when we go out, we want to feel like we're expanding with our ribs and our lungs outward with our arms, okay? Let's breathe in. And then push the air out. Good, so we want to feel like we open up. Let's do it again. And then out. Let's do one more, okay? One thing that I should have mentioned to begin with, just from observing you, is that when you breathe in, think about starting lower and filling up higher when we get to the end. So I'm thinking, I breathe into my shoulders by the time I get to the end. I mean, when we play the trumpet, we don't want to be like that with our shoulders, but we want them to feel like they're going out and we're getting bigger, you know, like imagine Superman or a superhero of some kind. That kind of feeling. So if you can breathe like a superhero, that's a good mentality to have. If you lie down on your bed, we don't need to do it on the floor, and you do that sort of breathing, it can help you relax also. Sometimes singers will do this. They'll work on their breathing, getting very relaxed, and even sing while they're lying down on the floor. We can do the same thing when we're practicing our breathing for trumpet playing. Do you have any other questions? No. No? Ah, perfect. Well, thank you for playing. Keep up the great work.
이런 선생님께 배울 수 있어서 너무 이런 기회를 잡은 게 다행인 것 같고 다시 한번 또 배워보고 싶어요. 안녕하세요. 저는 트럼펫 전공하고 있는 27살 윤명진입니다. 제가 오늘 마스터 클래스 받을 곡은 거신의 3 프렐류드인데요. 특별히 이번에 브랜든 선생님께서 편곡을 해주신 트럼펫 버전으로 신청하게 되었습니다. 아무래도 곡을 선생님이 편곡을 하셨기 때문에 어떤 생각을 가지고 연주를 해야 되는지 궁금하고요. 그리고 또 어떻게 하면 더 소리를 쉽게 선생님처럼 자연스럽게 낼 수 있는지 배우고 싶습니다.
All right, good. Oh, do you enjoy playing George Gershwin?
Yeah.
Yeah? You like it? What do you like about it?
좀 너무 클래식하지 않고 재즈한 그런 분위기가 좋은 것 같아요.
There we go. Jazz. Yeah. So you like playing a little bit of the jazz style? Yeah, you like the jazz style? The interesting thing about Gershwin was that he was really great at both jazz and classical. He wrote so many songs that have become jazz standards now. But he also wrote classical pieces that aren't entirely classical because he wanted to be accepted by a classical audience. If you were to imagine Arturo Sandoval, maybe Miles Davis, in the beginning, and Wynton Marsalis especially, maybe especially, think of Wynton Marsalis and play the beginning again. I want you to be an actor. So, okay, I'm gonna act like a classical trumpet player now. I played the notes, little bend, tiny bit of jazz, just tiny bit. But if I'm a jazz trumpet player, I'm not thinking about classical music or classical players as I'm trying to play this. Try to go for a completely different world, right? And make sounds that might seem funny to a great classical player like you. All of these variables and approaches to blowing into the trumpet, quite interesting. It comes down to a relationship with the instrument and with music simultaneously. Breath, the ease of breath, fundamentally is so important for all of this to happen and to work, and for the trumpet to sing and for us to play effortlessly. If I don't have an ease to my breath, then I get tight, I might get nervous, I don't make my best sound. It's incredibly important. So perhaps this all comes down to psychological ideas, our mindset. But these two, the mind and the breath, can work off of each other. So I want to make sure that I'm in the right place, the right mindset, the right breath set, so that I can have the best relationship that I can possibly have with the instrument. Because like I said in the beginning, this thing can be incredibly unforgiving if I'm not set in those ways as I go into this whole thing, this process of sound making. Loud or soft, whatever you do, you want to grab your audience, pull them in, make them listen. So let's practice. Let's make them listen with quiet sounds, okay? And I can help you with the bend. So, watch. If you start, there's a little difference, right? Yeah. You might want to do all three perfectly halfway, right? Why don't you just practice that for now? Run halfway. Good. It's important to not just wing it when we're doing half valves. You know what I mean, wing it? Wing it is like, we don't want it to feel random. We still want to do that effect with control. So you practice it slowly. Exactly, and then do that on every note so you get comfortable with how it feels to play a half valve note on the trumpet all over the place. Now I want to go back to the beginning of the piece, play it more like you said Wynton Marsalis was the first trumpet player you listed, And he's one of my favorite trumpet players too. If I really imagine Wynton having fun on the trumpet, you know, he's so great at plunger and sounding like a human voice when he plays. I want to emulate that. I want to sound like I'm crying or whining or singing or speaking through the trumpet at the beginning, which is why we do that half valve technique. It sounds very vocal. And with Wynton, there's something very exciting and powerful and present about the way he approaches music. So let's think about Wynton and play that first phrase again. Great. Now, second phrase, maybe think like Miles Davis, okay? Yeah, that's better. What if you play it a little bit slower? Longer notes, take your time. Yeah, that's a little better. So take some very careful, close listening to these great trumpet players. So you listen carefully and then you copy them as carefully as you can. The fun part is that you get to choose your own favorite trumpet players. And if you listen to them closely enough and continue to copy them, that becomes you, how you play. I want you to continue to play in the spirited way that Wynton Marsalis plays. Ba-da-bum, ba-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-bum, ba-da-bum. And really think of rhythmic integrity as you play. All right, try it once more from there. That's really great. That's a lot better. Now, when I think of rhythmic integrity as it pertains to the trumpet, I like to think a lot of my articulation. So I would just add one thing to what you just did. I'm thinking really about tonguing, the impact of my tongue. It's a little more explosive tongue. Can you try that? More pop. Yeah, that gives us a lot of security when you articulate like that. I also like that you copied me with the vibrato without me saying to. You played with a faster, tight vibrato, as we call it, which is stylistically appropriate. Let's talk about phrasing, okay? This next part, I want to hear you phrase it, because what I heard the first time was this. It sounded a bit like that. And instead, I think you could play and then maybe again, a little more excitement through those notes. And keep playing with excitement through the long note too. Maybe vibrato. So. If I do that, again, it kind of keeps them listening to me instead of just letting that note go flat. Good. I want to remind you about tongue. The articulation in a section like this is very important. So let's outline. Play just the bottom notes. Can you play it? Yeah, that's right, shorter. Yeah, it's sort of like a ricochet articulation. Do you single tongue all that?
Triple.
You're triple tonguing. Oh, good for you. All right, I just single tongue it. I think. Sorry. Yeah, I do all singles for me because I find it to be more clear that way. A way it's easier to do single tongue is to accent the bottom note, and then the other notes are sort of like a rebound. Da 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 da. So I'm trying to get you to rebound. Da 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 da. Can you just do it like that? Are you single tonguing now?
Yeah.
Good. Do you think it's a little easier? Yeah. I think so too. It's more clear. The next thing, just the exact same pattern, just up a step that we did. So can you play it from there and remember the things we just worked on? Yeah, da 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 da. If you hit the first note, it's a little stronger, it's easier. Exactly. So remember, that's how I practice it. Is it? I really focus on that note. That diminished outline is important for me. Good. We'll just keep going through here. By the way, do you have the other preludes as well? Number 2, number 3? Oh, okay. Good. Then I won't waste all the time on this one. But I want you to try one more thing on the first prelude. If you go back to the first prelude, I want you to phrase this next part, okay? It'll be easier. Do you hear I'm playing through all those fast notes? Pretend like they're not fast notes, and you're playing one long line, one long note that happens to wiggle around. Okay. That's better. Play the next one. Yeah, now this section I think could be more powerful. So think about hitting your notes with more force, especially on your first note. Okay, I'm really da on my first note. Good, and then to get up to that high note, it's just a lot of fast compression. Let's try this. And think about squeezing a lot from here to get that air to be excited. Less from here and more. That's a little better. Good. Good. Just remember, for that power, always down here. Great. The very last thing. I changed it. That's not what's written, is it? No, it's not. But you listened to the recording, right? Do you want to try playing it that way? Yeah. Okay, let's hear it. Great. Nice job. All right, let's move on. Let's do the next one. right, good. And then it repeats again. Maybe you have your second choice, Miles Davis, as you play this. And be sure to keep your eighth notes straight, not swung. Sometimes I heard you swing it, especially on the last line. So keep it all straight. We swing the middle section, okay? So, trying to really play as connected and smooth as I can. Good. Now, first of all, I love that you have it memorized, and the first prelude too. Thank you. Now I want you to take your time even more and play it from a place that's more deep inside and less perfect. You're playing it in time very perfectly. I want it to have more flexibility, be a little more loose. Try it. Maybe close your eyes, whatever you need to do to get to a more calm place. Really nice. Okay, then what happens from there? Play the next line and keep it very calm. You're never in a hurry. Yeah, and it should feel good to play that way. When you are listening to the music and maybe what it wants to do, rather than just trying to play it perfectly. So it's a different perspective, but it makes music, I think, more fun, more approachable that way. So let's hear the middle section now. Do you have a harmon mute?
Yeah.
Great. I just wonder, like, what percentage of your trumpet playing life is done with the harmon mute in it, trying to do that sound? Maybe 1%? Yeah, 1%? Yeah, that's common. So maybe just try to up that percentage to like 4% or something like that. Can I see your harmon mute? Not all harmon mutes are created equal too. Let's see how this one sounds. So maybe you can see some of the things that I'm doing. I'm playing with, first of all, a little tighter sound and a really fast vibrato. Another common thing to do in like an early jazz style is to play much shorter notes, sometimes. So just listen to some of the short notes and some of the long notes. Whoops, the slide fell out. But maybe you get the idea. Try to copy, again, I don't want to get too technical with all the different notes. Just try to copy the general feeling. Try it again. Go wow, wop, wop, wom. Try that. Yeah, that's a lot better. So I was doing this just to get a time feel on beats 2 and 4. That's where I like to feel this section. You could feel wah oh wah ah wah ba wah ba da wah or you could feel da wah cha boom cha boo dum gong cha boo wah. The reason why I snap on 2 and 4 is because it's more of the high percussion sound, whereas it's boom, chicka boom, chicka boom. Chick. Maybe if you feel that on the inside in this section, it could be helpful as well. I want you, I'm going to borrow it once more, to just, in this section, and in general, have more fun with the comedy that you can do with this. It can be funny. Or whatever. See what I mean? There are a lot of fun moments that you can have in the section. Since you have it from memory, you can get away from how it looks on the page and maybe improvise your own lines. The end of this is similar. Why don't we move to the third prelude? Good. That's really great. There's a... Again, we've been talking about playing with this sort of tightness and fast vibrato, and also a really sharp articulation, punchy. This requires all of those things. And you're playing with a mute, which is a nice, it kind of makes it sound like an old radio sound in a way, like old trumpet player, which is cool. You get the idea. So that's at least how I like to interpret this, which is maybe extreme, but I'm thinking of those old trumpet players you heard decades and decades ago on the radio. And I'm trying to sound like them. Yeah, that's what I like to do. I just wonder if you can try to sound that way right now. Just pretend. Yeah? See if you can copy it. You try. Mute or open, but you can do the mute, that's fine. Nice. Exciting. Yeah? So continue to have fun with this and listen to a wider variety of players. And to get better music like this, just listen to a lot of jazz players. Older jazz players too. Yeah, it'd be nice. Do you have any questions for me?
이 곡을 편곡할 때 어떤 생각으로 편곡을 했는지.
I started out as a pianist. My father is a pianist. And so I played these preludes in high school. And then when I got in college, I became more curious about arranging music. And as a trumpet player, I found that the pianists had way better repertoire than the trumpeters. So then I started stealing the piano repertoire that I knew and playing it on trumpet. This is one of the first pieces that I found that I thought worked well as a trumpet and piano piece. Thank you for playing it. Yeah.
오늘 이렇게 잘 가르쳐 주셔서 너무 감사하고 다음에 또 꼭 뵀으면 좋겠습니다.
My piece of advice for all future artists is to just stay inspired. Make sure that you love what you're doing and you're continuing to love what you're doing. Don't ever just, as an artist, this is when art gets killed, is when you've settled for something and you're comfortable and you're no longer inspired by the art or the art that you were making. That's a tough place to be. So that's my advice, is to stay inspired and keep loving the art that you're choosing to make.